check Henry's stuff to make sure he didn't text me again. I don't always hear the text come through. I am going to do just 2 containers. That means I'll have 4 of each kind. I already have my signs made because I didn't want to screw that up and get them mixed up. My goal is to really figure out what these guys are going to be like. And in order to do that, I need to know what's going on with them. So, yeah. Do I have an open bag of soil? And the answer appears to be no. Is that true? Really? I'm amazed. I have an open bag of potting soil, but I don't have an open bag of seed starting soil. Okay, we can do that. I just happen to have one right here. We're currently using black gold seedling mix. We get it from House Tools. It's super light and fluffy and does a great job with starting stuff. And if anyone is concerned about shipping, what we do is we simply make sure we order $99 worth of stuff at a time, which is easy when you're buying soil, fertilizer, seeds, and all that other stuff. And then we get free shipping. So we just always do that. That's just the way we roll. We save it up, we save our orders up, and we do that. I need to mention again, because I want to thank some of our viewers. If you order through the information in our show notes that says Haas Tools and it gives a code, the first time you order through there, if you order more than $25 worth, you get a free package of seeds. If and they choose the seeds. I think they're giving Swiss chard right now, and it's the rainbow Swiss chard, which is really quite good. They thank us by giving us a very small percentage cut. It doesn't cost you a dime, but it helps to support the channel. I was chatting with somebody the other day, and they're like, "Oh, you're a YouTube star. You must make $1 billion." No. In 2 years, we have made less than $150 from YouTube. So, yeah, you don't get rich doing this, but it would be nice to at least pay for the new cameras that you need to buy once in a while. So, things like buying through our Amazon links. So, it doesn't cost you a dime, but it gives us a small bit of cash, a very small percentage of what, you know, I mean, it's less expensive for the people who are, for the company that is supporting us than if they were buying ad space, believe me, because I have bought ad space before, and ad space is expensive. We really do appreciate it if people use our codes, because it doesn't cost you anything else, but it does help to support us. If you need to buy, if you just use our codes, you know, it helps a lot. It helps a lot. Just to get a small amount of money every few months from somebody. It's kind of like Christmas. Unexpected Christmas, when you suddenly realize there's a deposit in your account that you hadn't expected, because they just do a wire transfer. They don't mail checks or anything. They do a wire transfer into your business account. So I almost got this ready. I had planned to have all this organized today. It's been one of those totally discombobulated days. Totally. Even the dog couldn't decide if he wanted to come out with me or not, so I finally left him in the living room because he was like, "Do I want to go out? Do I not want to go out?" And I'm like, I can't wait forever. I really have to get this done now. It's going to get, the later in the day it gets, unless we get a real cold front that comes through, the hotter it's going to be in here. And I really prefer to get this kind of work done, you know, like an hour and a half ago, so that I'm not melting in here. All right, there we go. Dust. Ugh. Okay, So I have 4 stone heads and 4 Catarina cabbages. And these have to be planted 1/4 inch deep. And I will be transplanting them when they get big enough into some sort of a random pot. And one of the reasons I will do that is because I want to make sure that if it starts to get too hot here this spring, all I have to do is put them outside. I'm not going to double plant any of these. Sometimes you'll see me put more than 1 seed in a hole. I'm not going to do that this time because I don't want too many plants. If these guys don't come up in a timely fashion, be good if I got them in the right spot. If these guys don't come up in a timely fashion, I'm simply going to replant. Statistically, they should. Haas Tools normally has very good germination, and this germination rate is right on the label. It's packed for 2022, and they have germination rate of 97% on this. So statistically, those are coming up, which is awesome. And you'll notice that I always put a paper clip on the top of these. These Haas Tools did not used to have resealable ones. They used to have regular ones. I noticed they are using resealable ones now, but resealable stuff doesn't work here for very long. It tends to get unwell pretty quickly. So I usually just double check myself by putting paper clip on everything. I hate spilling seeds. It's a terrible waste. And I hate not knowing what seeds are. And like if I were to dump these seeds, I'd be able to say, well, in this case, these are a different color than the stonehead ones. Sometimes that happens. But they're just cabbage. I mean, they're a brassica, that's all. And you could say, well, that's a brassica, but you couldn't say what variety it was. So, you know, I don't want that. I want to know what everything is, especially because we're experimenting. We know what the Tiara will do. We know what the Copenhagen will do. And we want to make sure that we know what the Catarina and the Stonehead will do. Do we like the flavor as much as the ones that we've been growing? So the camera died because, you know, that's what they do. But I added just a teeny bit more dirt to the top of these pots because I felt like they didn't have quite enough soil on the plants. I'm going to water them with a watering can. I'm really flooding these guys because the soil is a little drier than I prefer. I was actually watching Veggie Boys this morning, and they have a really cool machine that will aerate, and they spray water into it, and so you wind up with well mixed together seed starting mix or planting mix, because they use it for both. I'm also adding water to the bottom of this, and then I'm going to turn on, I'm going to stick this over here, and I'm going to turn on the heat mat. Okay, that way it will soak up the water and they will be ready to really go. And I need to find the thing. There it is, right there. And 83.7. See, it's warm right now because the it's in the sun, but that's fine. So they're ready to go. What else am I going to do this week? I'm going to be starting some new lettuce. I have things to clear out. I have harvest to do. We have not seen any movement yet with our existing tray of sweet potatoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of our stored sweet potatoes and put at least a couple of them in here and start keeping them watered, because we really want sweet potato slips. We want to be able to grow our own, as many as our hearts desired, and we also want to be able to share with the garden club. So we're going to let that be. Okay, onward to harvesting. Yeah, onward to harvesting. I need to get these seeds out of the sun. Put them in my pocket in the shade. It seems like a great plan. One broccoli harvest coming up. Nice little broccolis. These are just so delicious when they're this size. And like I say, they don't usually produce their heads this small, but I'm sure that all the fluctuating weather, we've been all over the place lately, has upset them. So they want to make sure that they can reproduce in time. So they're giving us broccoli sooner than they usually would. And I will have to decide if I'm going to grow any more. I may, in anticipation of planting them in the shade on the north side of the house. That's what we did last year, and it did work. Okay. What we have to ask ourselves is, how much do we want to have the broccoli overlap other things? Because, let's see, it's March, mid to late March kind of time frame. April, probably usually about the 7th of April, we get our first asparagus. So we have to look in terms of, do we want to have the broccoli overlap the asparagus? That's a personal decision, and one we have to think about. This is a sad, gone by lettuce plant. You can see it's starting to bolt here, and I need to get him out of there. Ideally, I should have put him, I don't know why I put him over here, probably because of space. I should have put him in the shade more, and he would have been happier. I tasted him yesterday, and I knew he was well past. Let's see if this guy's bitter too. Nope. See, his next door neighbor is perfectly fine, but he had started to go to seed. So these guys are fine, and this guy's fine. So we're definitely not out of lettuce, but it has just been getting hotter and hotter in here lately, as one would expect in the spring. And the problem with that is we do not have a permanent watering system set up in here, which will be one of the next projects. These guys, although they may not look wonderful, are still fine. Okay, camera died, and we've had several small rainstorms, but here's where we are now. I cleared out a bunch of the old leaves on these. I also, and they're looking a lot better. I mean, they just looked ratty. There's my broccoli. That's either one big meal or two small meals for broccoli. Let's see, watered everybody a little bit more because you always need water. Took out the two Salanova green butter heads here that were going over. They were too bitter. These sweet green crisps are still perfect, so nothing wrong with those. Did the same thing over here, where this sweet green crisp is fine. The oak leaf is fine. The guy that was here, which was another sweet green crisp, too far gone. So I expect in the next week or so I'll be losing a few more things, because some of these lettuce have been here all winter. We've been harvesting off of them. You can't tell it now, they've come back so well. But I've got new, like this is Nancy, that came back from the roots. It's fine. I think this one is Adriana. I'd have to peek underneath all those cabbages, and I'm not going to do that. But whew, that's it for now. So be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because Obviously, we're going to be doing lots more. I've got 2 new little trays of cabbage soaking in water over here. And yeah, I'm going to be figuring out, I'm a little behind on planting some of my stuff right now. So I'm going to be really sorting seeds and getting the stuff going in the next week. Got to get my onion seeds in, and a couple of different kinds of flowers that take a while to grow. Yeah, just lots of stuff going on. I need to start some more pak choi, just probably 2 plants, maybe 3. All kinds of stuff like that. So, until next time, bye, and keep brainstorming. Obviously, we are.